so here we go. Spiders implemented, it collides with mushrooms, it destroys them. Right now destroying the certain amount of mushrooms creates the scorpion and the flea. Right now the flea just it just creates in front of it as well, instead of behind like I was supposed to. So yeah, the flea right now, the problem is in this logic in the update. It's not implemented correctly. That's something I have to work on still. The scorpion isn't implemented correctly in its behavior at all. It's just to show that I'm working on it. The spider, I believe, is the closest to being done. Just need to create a collision with the player, so that way I can create the lives system for the player. And then also create a timer, because right now I have it where it initializes the spider right in the beginning of the level. I've managed to separate the input control from the blaster. It has its own separate functions. Now I have the derive class of the keyboard input. It takes in a pointer of the blaster, so that way it can call this function here, or these functions for each specific movement. The grid is implemented. There is the pointers of grid cells now instead of the mushrooms. This is implemented to so that way it's easy for me to send the data of the specific row and columns that I want to implement or to use for the flea and the scorpion. So that way it knows to stay at a specific point for the scorpion, so it doesn't go below the player area, and for the flea, so that way it only spawns along the top rows, right at the top. So yeah, but the issue is that I did not manage my time correctly this week, so that's something I have to catch up on. Is getting these three implemented correctly. But I do have the grid implemented. The next thing is probably the poison mushrooms and the lives, but yeah, it will have that stuff finished for by the next sprint, as well as keeping up with what we have to create for the next sprint. That's what I have so far.